Once little Krishna was feeding on the milk of Mother Yasoda. Suddenly the milk which was kept in the oven for boiling began to overflow. Then Yasoda left Krishna and went immediately there to stop the overflow of milk. Krishna then became angry as Yasoda left him unsated. Then Krishna broke the pot of curd with the help of a stick and ran away. Mother Yasoda, after cleaning the overflow of milk, finds the pot of curds broken, and knowing that to be the work of her son, she then runs to beat little Krishna with a small rod in her hand. Krishna, seeing his mother angry, ran away from there, but Yasoda didn't stop despite her weight. Finally she caught Krishna. Yasoda threatened to strike him. Then Krishna wept aloud and rubbed his eyes with his hands. When she noticed her son was scared, she threw the stick and decided to bind him with the string at the wooden mortar, ukhal. Naradji, upon seeing this from above, stated, "The Supreme Lord, who is so fearless that even the god of death fears him, is today afraid of a little rod in the hands of Mother Yasoda. The leela of the Lord is so astonishing." Yasoda proceeded to tie Krishna, who is the master of the infinite universe, to a wooden mortar with a string, as one would bind a human child. While Krishna was being bound, the string fell short by an inch. She joined another rope to it and tried to bind him, but it fell short by an inch. She joined multiple ropes and tried to bind him, though the rope fell short by an inch. This incident has a very deep meaning. Whenever a devotee tries to meet Sri Krishna, he starts his devotion and comes very near to Krishna, just about to meet, but there remains that 1 inch of difference due to his pride of devotion. That pride of devotion cannot be removed by himself and can only be removed by the grace of Sri Krishna, which is bestowed upon a soul after he realizes that he is truly a fallen one, because Sri Krishna's one of the name is Dinabandhu, which means friend of the fallen one. Krishna's mother became exhausted because she was unable to bind Krishna with rope. Perceiving the effort of his mother, who was full of sweat, Sri Krishna allowed himself to be bound out of compassion. Though nothing can bind Sri Krishna because he is the Paramasvatantra, but the selfless love of his devotees binds him. Then the mother was able to bind him, and she left Krishna alone there while engaging in the household activities. At the place where Krishna was bound stood 2 trees named Yamalarjun. The trees were actually the sons of Kuber, named Nalakuber and Manigriva, who were once cursed by Naradji to transform into tree form. One day these 2 sons of Kuber were enjoying themselves in the middle of Ganga along with the Apsaras, maidens of heaven. They had drunk the wine and were engaged in sports with the maiden. At the same time, says Narad, who was chanting the Lord's name, saw this incident. Upon seeing Naradji, the maidens wore clothes, but the sons of Kuber had pride in their wealth and father, so they disrespected Naradji and were standing there without clothes. Then Naradji cursed them and said, "You have so much pride in your wealth and body, which is temporary. You are living like you will never attain old age and death. Thus from this time you will be transformed into trees for 100 celestial years. Then Lord Sri Krishna himself will recover you from this state and let you to your abode. You will acquire his devotion too, which is very rare." This was the story of 2 trees standing at the place where Sri Krishna was bound. Today their 100 celestial years have come to an end, so Krishna proceeded slowly to the spot where the trees stood as twins. He crawled between 2 trees and positioned the mortar just between 2 trees. Since the rope was tied to his belly, he applied effort to pull the mortar along with the tree, and finally the trees were uprooted. Then from the trees, the son of Kuber appeared in the form of celestial figures. They bowed down to Sri Krishna and thanked him for their recovery. Sri Krishna then told them, "It was already known to me that Naradji showered you with his grace by transforming you into trees and removing all your pride of wealth and fortune. Though it was a curse, it is actually a boon to you because you are now free from the pride of worldly fortune and it leads you to my supreme devotion. You can now return to your abode." Then the two brothers returned to their abode along with the devotion of Sri Hari, giving up worldly pride. Upon hearing the noise of two falling trees like a thunderbolt, Nanda and Yasoda along with other villagers went there. They were astonished to see two trees fall and little Krishna exactly between them unharmed. They asked the other children playing there about how the trees had fallen. Then they answered, the trees were uprooted by Krishna while dragging mortar in between them. The cowherds, however, didn't believe it. Regarding it as child talk because it was not possible for that child to uproot two huge trees in that way. Then Nanda freed his child from the rope and gave him to his mother. Then Yasoda took his son with affection and thanked God for saving his child from such a great disaster. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare